So what we're going to do is go to the Blackboard course you want to import your MyLab or mastering links into. Sorry if it's noisy outside. It snowed in Massachusetts and there's like snow plows going by my house. So we want to click on the three dots right here next to course content, and we want to click import content. Then we want to click on import course content. And then we want to select the file that we just downloaded. And normally it'll just appear in your downloads folder. And then this is going to upload into the Blackboard Ultra course here. It's going to say importing course content. It might take about a minute for it to actually import. So we'll just give it a second here. Normally I like to give it about 15 seconds or so. And then if you refresh the page, it should show the MyLab math links. Well, in this case, they're MyLab math links, but they will be whatever you happen to be using, if it's MyLab or mastering or, MyLab education or anything like that. So once this gray box disappears here, you will see a MyLab Math and MyLab Math instructor links folder appear. And we'll just give it a minute here. There they are. So then your MyLab Math and MyLab Math instructor resources folders are in the course. The process after this is going to be exactly the same as it was if you were using a Blackboard Learn course to just set it up and link it to Blackboard Ultra. So what we want to do is we want to click into the MyLab Math instructor resources folder. And then normally I suggest saying we click on the MyLab Math assignment manager. And this is going to give you a few options on this screen. We can either copy a previous course, or if you want to create a blank course and build out all of your assignments from scratch, you can select this option. If you want to copy a course, you can click continue. You can either choose to copy the master course, or if you have a previous course you want to copy, I don't in this case, but if I did, there would be a box here that has a drop-down menu that you can select your previous course and then copy that. Or if you want to copy another instructor's course, you can get their course ID and enter it here. And then once you choose any of those options, in this case, I'll just copy the master course for example's sake. Click continue. And then we can click create my course. And if it prompts you to continue in a new window, you can click that. And at that point, the course is created in Blackboard Ultra. And if you're familiar with the MyLab at all, the functionality of the actual MyLab is the exact same as it has been for years. If you've been using Blackboard Learn, it's just how it is imported is a little bit different, but the actual functionality remains the same throughout the MyLab side of it. I'm going to just create a quick assignment here. Just so I can show a few more examples of creating deep links for assignments in Blackboard Ultra and GradeSync. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a quick homework assignment here, just for example's sake. Just going to go ahead and make a little 5. We're going to put a due date in here. Okay. So now I'm going to show how to deep link this assignment here in your Blackboard Ultra course. So typically, I know a lot of you are already using MyLab Math, so you're most likely going to have assignments and stuff already created. So if you want to create deep links, specifically if you want to create deep links because you want to put your assignments into, you have your course built out in a module format, you can do that. So I'll show you how to do that right now. And you can go to, and also Beth, I don't know if anyone's asking any questions, you can just chime in and stop me because I can't see the chat right now.
Yes, of course. I don't see any questions yet.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, just if anything happens, just tell me to shut up and we can talk about it. So, all right. If we want to create deep links to any assignments in Blackboard Ultra, we just go back to Blackboard, go to the instructor resources, and click on Instructor Self-Service. Click Continue in New Window, and then we want to click on Add Product Links. And what we want to do is click on Step 2 Custom Links at the top. And then we can scroll to the bottom here where it says Refresh List. And then we'll see that our little assignment we just created, Homework 1, is in that list. You can check the box next to it, click Create Custom Links, and now we see our homework has a custom link attached to it. So we can click Next Step, and we can go to Download Common Cartridge here. And this is going to download a cartridge file. And what we want to do is then import that file into the Blackboard course. So we're going to do the same exact process we just did to import the MyLab links in by clicking on the 3 dots here at the top right, clicking on Import Content, Import Course Content, and then just select this cartridge file that downloaded here. And while that's doing that, I'm just going to create a little folder here.
Hey, Jason. The recording
Yeah, what's up?
was started like right after you did the first step of adding in the links. When you're finished with this, do you mind just showing that page again and showing where you go to install these links?
Oh, sure. Well, I'll do that right now. I'm waiting for this to happen.
Perfect.
So what part of it do we need? The actual downloading the cartridge?
Yeah, showing how you download the cartridge and what that page looks like.
Okay, yeah. So we would go to the delivery page here, and this is where we would download the cartridge from.
And
then
again,
we would
this
click.
is provided by Jason or I.
Yes, me or Beth would normally provide this page for you if you need it. You would click on the Pearson custom URL. This will bring you to the login page. And then you would just copy the username from the previous page and the password. And then click download cartridge. And that's going to download a file to your computer. Did the import process get recorded, Beth, or do we need to go over that as well?
Let's just go over that one more time. I don't think it did.
Sure. So to import that cartridge, okay, we would need to click on the 3 dots, click import content, import course content, and then just select the package. We already imported it, so I'm not going to import it again because it's going to double up all the links if I do. But we would select this. It'll import the MyLab Math and MyLab Math instructor resources into the course. And then at that point, we can click on the links as we did earlier and choose to either copy a course or create a blank course. And it looks like the deep link import completed here. So if you see, we have this new folder here, and inside of it, we have our homework 1, which links directly to our homework assignment in MyLab Math. So students can click on this and they can just start working on the homework. So typically you'd want, if you're building out your course in kind of a module-based approach and you're using either folders or modules or however you want to build your course out, I'll just put a folder in here.
And Jason, while you're doing that, Kathy Hunt asked, these deep links must be done individual for each assignment in a module, as a question. Do they need to be done for each individual assignment in a module? So I believe yes.
Like, do they need to be created individually, or can you batch create all of them is what?
So I think it's, do you need to do it for all of them? And Kathy, you will need to create the link for all of your homework assignments, but you can do it as a batch.
Yeah. So I mean, as an example, like I only have one assignment in here, but if you had like a whole bunch of assignments, you can just click all of them and do this all in one shot. And then the cartridge will then import all of the links into this folder. And from there, you can move them around to the appropriate module. So for example, if we were dropping this homework 1 into the chapter 1 folder, or okay, good. There we go. I still think Ultra's a little finicky with that, but you know, this you can drop it into either a module or a folder, and then that's in there, and then we can just delete this empty folder here with the MyLab math links.
And Jason, before you move on, Amy
Sure.
Byron asked if there was any major mastering updates due to rollout. So there's no major changes for mastering with the integration. The only way that there would be changes is, you know, if there's some discipline specific resources that are out there. And I'm happy to work with you one off to kind of address any of those changes. And the second question, April Moore asked, you know, if the links come in as a specific category or a category type within Blackboard?
So like from a gradebook perspective or from a so like from a gradebook perspective, they sync in as assignments. Type when they're imported in down here, I believe, let's take a look at what they are.
And
If
yes, she
they're
confirmed gradebook description is what she.
Yes, so yeah, I was gonna just cover the gradebook in a second too, but they are defaulted to coming in as assignments. So they can be changed after they are synced in if you want to change it to a test category or a quiz category, but everything is synced into the Blackboard gradebook as an assignment. And I was about to cover the grade sync as well for that. Um, so
Perfect.
if we
And
want to,
one more
but
question.
oh sure. Mhm.
So if you wanted them to be a specific type, then you need to select that when you're adding them to the deep link.
Like what from the gradebook side or?
So I don't think you can change when you're adding the link. I do believe they kind of default over. Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. Is if it's set up as a homework in the MyLab, it'll default over as a homework in the gradebook. Is that right?
No, I don't think it will. It will just come over. I think everything syncs over as the category of assignment, but let me check
Okay.
that right now. Well, yeah. So anyway, let me do that, and then let's see when it comes over. I'll do it again, so I was clicking too fast there. So to do grade sync, and I'll answer that question in a second on how it comes over. You want to click, by default, grade sync is not enabled in the course. So you want to click on the MyLab instructor resources and then instructor self-service. And then we want to click on manage grade sync, then configure grade sync. And then we want to click enable grade sync for this course. And then we can select any assignments that we want to sync over to the Blackboard Grade Center. So I just click the checkbox and then click Save Changes, and it says the status is pending. So typically that will take, you know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes to come over. And let's see if it goes over faster than that. Sometimes they come over real quick. But whoopsies, I clicked refresh and broke everything. Okay. So it might take a minute or two for it to come over, but as I was mentioning earlier, it, Beth, I'm 90% sure on that one that everything, regardless of what its category is in the MyLab or mastering, it will come over as it's called assignment in Blackboard, and then it can be changed from the Blackboard gradebook from the once they edit the grade column, I believe, and you can change the type of assignment after that. So like if it's a test or quiz, but it will just everything will come over as the same category because that's kind of how Blackboard Ultra Grade Sync is working right now with everything. It doesn't really have the ability to communicate the assignment type via the grade sync as of right now.
Thank you, Jason. Another question just popped up from Sharon Davis. Is there a way to just sync the overall average and not the individual assignments?
Yes, yes, there is. So you would need to go into the MyLab instructor gradebook first. And then we would need to go to, oops, yeah, I was right. I guessed there. I had a 50-50. Grade sync settings from the gradebook. And then you want to click only overall scores. And then if you click save, you'll click change sync setting. And then this is going to send just the overall score over to GradeSync. So then if we go back here, hopefully it updates. It might take a few minutes for it to update. I'm going to go back into the GradeSync menu real quick and take a look. Okay, so it didn't show up yet because it's still pending the initial sync. But after you do that a few minutes later, it'll just show, instead of showing any homeworks or anything here, it's just going to show MyLab overall score. And it's just going to sync that one overall average column over to the Blackboard gradebook. So if you prefer to do all your scores and everything within MyLab and then just send that overall score over to Blackboard, that's how you would do it. You would just go into your gradebook settings. I'll go back there. Just gradebook settings, grade sync settings, and then only overall scores. And it's going to send that over.
Jason, a question came in. Can you send the overall scores over for mastering too, or is that only a MyLab feature?
I believe that's only a MyLab feature. I got to double check on that one though, because they keep changing the mastering gradebook. It used to be, I believe it's still only the individual assignments. You can't do an overall score in mastering because it handles the scores differently in mastering than it does in MyLab. So if you wanted to do something like a mastering average, you would still have to send over all the grades for mastering and then create like an average column in the Blackboard gradebook or something.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I got a million windows open here. Let me clean up some of these real quick before we keep going. All right. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover on the kind of the MyLab mastering side of things. I was also going to cover a Revel integration now, if we're okay to move on to that. I guess we are. Okay. So in order to link any Pearson Revel courses,
I'm not seeing any more MyLab or mastering questions.
sure.
I lied. Can you click on the gradebook and Blackboard so we can see what it looks like? 1 second.
Sure. Let me double check to see if it's actually syncing yet. Did it sync? It's still, so it's not going to show anything yet because this still hasn't come over. Let's see if I can refresh the grade columns manually and see if it'll appear yet. It might take a minute. We might want to circle back on that. I can take a look right now actually and see.
Yeah, we could always come back to that after we walk through Revel and see if it's synced yet.
Well, yeah, I have some old. So this course I've used like a million times for demos. So it has a bunch of old assignments in there from a previous grade sync that I haven't deleted out. So there's only one user in here, and it's the preview user for grades. But these are all old synced assignments that came over that I had from previous courses here.
Can you click on the list view, Jason?
Yep.
And while he's doing that, Amy had asked if there was a date when they can expect to receive the DiLink cartridge downloads. So I can answer. I know Jason and I typically work together, and he usually sends out like emails at the end of one semester leading into like summer. So I don't want to speak for you, Jason, but usually probably around April, you'll send out an email reminding instructors of how to copy over their course with the DI links. Is that right?
It's more like May.
May.
Yeah, I try and do it like early May, and then I'll also send one out probably like the end of July, early August as well to kind of, as a second reminder, because I know a lot of you guys are, if you're not working over the summer, you're not teaching summer courses, you might not be checking your emails much. So I try to get one in there before finals are done, and then like uh, about 3 weeks before the semester starts as well, for fall. So like, late July, early August sort of a situation. Also, since I have these grade syncs here, um, they would typically come in, it looks like they're not coming in with any category here. And you can just go in the view and you can change what category you want it to. So you would just click the three dots next to it, click edit, and then you can change the assignment category to assignment. And then that would, if you're doing any weighting settings or anything in the grade book, then that's how you would take care of that.
A couple more questions that came up, Jason. Let's
Sure.
see. If we currently have a Pearson integration in a course and we import export to create the course in Ultra, will Pearson integration be maintained in Ultra course? And I believe they're
So
asking like if they export from a Blackboard Learn course and import into Ultra, basically will that?
I mean, from other aspects of doing that, I've heard the formatting can get messed up, but in terms from a purely Pearson direct integration perspective, it's fine. It doesn't break anything at all. So I heard that when you do that from a Learn to an Ultra course, sometimes formatting and like banners and things like that may get messed up when you're doing the import. I can't speak to the other aspects of it, but in terms of doing that from a Pearson link perspective, yeah, it will import your MyLab links as they were in your Learn course, and then all you'll have to do to link it is the same thing you would normally do to link it in Learn, is you would have your MyLab links in there. You'd click on something, you click on copy course, and then you can click more options and select your previous course as you have done previously, and it will copy over all your assignments and link everything correctly. So you can do that if you'd like, yeah. Or if you're building out an entirely new course from scratch, because you're an Ultra now, we can always send you over the link to the package again, and you can import it that way as well.
And Jason, one other question April had. Also, we don't have to click to post the grades correctly. And I believe she's meaning like pushing them over outside of, the grade, once the grade sync is set up.
Oh, like once it's set up, it's just going to automatically sync all the grades.
Correct me if
It
I'm wrong, April. I think that's what you were asking.
It periodically
Yep.
syncs every like 45 minutes, so roughly. So, it might not be instantaneous if like someone does an assignment and then they email you immediately, like my grade didn't update in Blackboard. It's like give it like half an hour, 45 minutes, and it'll find its way over to the Blackboard gradebook.
Yeah, I will reiterate. That's the only thing that usually comes up. We usually tell instructors, make sure your students know that as soon as they complete an assignment, it'll flow to my Lab Mastering Revel gradebook. But it may take 30 minutes to an hour to flow over to Blackboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the way that it syncs.
I'm looking through. I think that was all the questions that we have for right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna do Revel then. But if any other questions come up, just I don't care. We can stop. So Revel, if you're using Pearson Revel, in Blackboard, the process is pretty easy, and it's pretty similar to what it was in Learn. It's just the way to find the tool is slightly different. So to link a Pearson Revel course, you'd click on the Books and Tools. Under the Books and Tools area on the left-hand menu here, you want to click View Course and Institution Tools. And then we want to go down to the bottom because for some reason it doesn't appear at the top anymore. We click Browse All Course Tools. And then you see we got Pearson Revel right here. So we want to click on it. And then we click on Open Pearson. And give it a second to load here. So it's going to automatically prompt you if you have previously created a Pearson Revel course. I have. Here's a psychology book that I've previously done. You can choose to either just copy that course and continue, or if you want to search for the course, I can't spell psychology right. Uh, did I spell that right? God, now I'm under the gun. Nope. And I pushed the wrong button and closed it. This is good. I don't even know how I did that. All right, let's go back in and do it again. And we're just going to go with copy the previous course because I can't spell today. But you either search for your book and select it or select your previous content. So we're going to click continue under our previous content. And it just takes a minute. Okay, so it just created a course based on our previous content. And we can click return to course. And it says success. So we actually just close this tab out and then close this tab out and then close this tab out. And then what we want to do is click on books and tools again. And then you see we're now linked to a Pearson course. And the first thing you want to do in this is when you click on it, you want to make sure you click on the checkbox for Open Pearson. And this is going to click, I'm going to click Submit here. And that's going to add the Open Pearson link into your Blackboard course. We want to make sure it's visible to students. And this is going to, that's what you and the students are going to use to access the course. So we click on Open Pearson. You'll see that we have our Pearson Ultra Test 1 copy. It's just a psychology book that I was using. And that just brings you into the Pearson Revel course. If you used the Pearson Revel course before, this should all be pretty straightforward to you. You can access your ebook by clicking on the Resources tab and clicking Open the Book. You can create assignments from here as you normally would. Let's see if there's any assignments in this course. I don't think there are. No, there are not. We can create one real quick just for example's sake. We're going to create it with a due date of next week and click Publish. So then I wanted to go over, now that we have the course linked here, we can click on Open Pearson, and I just created an assignment. So now we see, if we wanted to set up grade sync for that assignment, under sync type, we can click View, and then we see we have our one assignment here created. So then if we want to send that assignment over to Blackboard, we can click it and click Save. Or if you just want to send over the Pearson Revel overall score, you can click the overall score button there and click Save as well. So we'll just save it for the one assignment there. And then it's set to automatic sync, so it'll just automatically sync. And Pearson Revel is a lot quicker when it comes to its grade sync, so it's less periodic. I wouldn't say it's instantaneous, but it's a lot quicker than you would see with MyLab and Mastering. I did want to go over a couple more things with Revel as well. Give me a second. All right, let's close out of this. And we will just close out. Oh, we got a million tabs open again here. So there's a couple more things with Pearson Revel so that I wanted to cover. Mainly, Number one being if there's any support issues, how to download your diagnostics with Revel. So what we would do is click on Books and Tools, then click this little caret thing next to the Pearson logo, and you can click Pearson Diagnostics. And this would be in the case if you were having any issues, maybe I was helping you out or Beth was helping you out with something, and support was asking for diagnostics, you would click that button and then click Export to File, and that's going to download a diagnostic file, and that just helps us figure out any issues that may occur. The other thing, if you linked a course to the wrong book, it's pretty easy to delete that and then relink the correct course. You would just click on Books and Tools again and click Remove Pearson Course Association. And what you'd want to do is then just click Remove.
And if you don't remove, like if you just delete the Open Pearson link, it's still going to be linked to that same book. So you have to make sure you remove.
Yep. We do want to make sure you do that. And we're just waiting for it to load. Or not load. Who knows? Maybe it's just going to sit here. All right. So let's do that instead. All right. And then you can just relink the new book or the correct course by clicking on Open Pearson again. And then it's going to bring you back to this content screen. So in the case of searching for content, I just search by the author. I think that's the easiest way to do it because I can't apparently spell psychology. And then you can click on the book that you want to use. And then also, I know that most of you have your courses set up in Course Charge. So this is where you can check to make sure you're selecting the correct book that is set up with Course Charge. If it is set up with Course Charge, it'll say right here, institutional direct access, and it says blah, 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 blah. This is set up with KCTCS Course Charge. And that means you have the correct book set up with your course and it's configured correctly with the bookstore so that students aren't charged for access. I mean, because they'll just be able to click in and access the book because it's part of the Course Charge program. So if this is the correct book, you would want to click the yellow select button and you can give it a name. Psych 101.
And while he's doing that, you might see, you want to make sure that you're selecting with Revel because you might see like some Pearson e-texts listed in there that aren't Revel and it still has a similar setup. So just make sure, like Jason says, that it says Revel and, Pearson Institutional Direct Access.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so I mean, setting up the course in Revel is pretty simple. Give it a name, give it a start date, give it an end date, click continue, and then it creates the course. And that's pretty much it with regards to creating the course. Then it just brings you back to your Blackboard homepage. We have the Pearson link there, and then you click into it, access it. When students click into it, they will be asked to log in or create an account if they don't have one, and then after that, they will be brought directly into the Revel content because it's set up with Course Charge, so they won't be prompted to pay or anything. I'm trying to think if there's any other things I had on that. I think that's all I wanted to cover on Revel. It's a little simpler than MyLab. But I don't know if there's any questions or Beth, if you wanted me to cover anything else on it, I can do that.
I think that's all I have. Any questions? I don't see anything right now. Anything else you'd like to see? Oh, let's see. In mastering direct integration, can a Pearson link be inserted in every module?
Yes. It's the same exact process as you would for a MyLab course. You just need to make sure that the assignments are available to students or like just assigned in general. They won't show up. So like the process would be the same. It would just say mastering instructor resources instead of MyLab. You would see the instructor self-service. You would click continue. You would go into add product links. This all looks exactly the same as it would in mastering. You click on custom links, and then it would pull in all of your mastering assignments. The only thing you need to make sure with mastering is that they are assigned. They won't show up on this screen if they're not assigned. And also, they may take up to about half an hour to show up on this screen after you create a course. So if you create a course, like if you've copied a course from a previous semester and it copied in your assignments, and then you come to this screen immediately, they might not show up here for about half an hour. For some reason with mastering, it takes a little bit of time before it populates on the links list here. So don't, worry about that. Just give it a little bit of time after you create the course. And then after you create the course and your assignments and appear here as they would, like clicking on refresh list. You can select them the same way, click on all of them that you want, and click next step. Oh, there's the MyLab overall score we were talking about. It decided to show up. So we click on next step and then download common cartridge, and it would download a cartridge file exactly as we did for the MyLab course. And then you would import it as I showed before, and then it's going to put them into a folder. Typically with mastering, it's going to put them in one of two places. It's either going to put them in the mastering student links folder in a separate folder at the very bottom here, or it'll show up at the very bottom of the course. But then you just find that folder, all your links will be there, and you can move them around anywhere you want in the course to any module or folder from there. Same as you would with MyLab. Any other things in the question thing there, Beth?
I'm not seeing any other questions. Anything that you would like to see that we haven't shown today? Let's see.
So we still
Is there...
have about 9 minutes. It looks like Kathy Hunt was saying she's not sure how you can move those links into the individual modules. So maybe you could.
Oh, sure.
And maybe create a module instead of a folder and show it.
Sure. Yeah, it's the same process for that. I'll show you. I'll create a module real quick. Let's give it a name. Module 1. All right. So let's see, where is I already dumped it into the folder down here, but this was in the MyLab folder there that we imported in. So if you want to put it into a module, we can just, oh God, all right. There we go, drop it right into the module. And now it appears in that module right there. So you just grab the little draggy things, and then you can drag it anywhere you want to, of course, and that's including a module. So we've dragged the our one link into the module that we had. You would have to do them. Yes.
Oh, okay. She said, I'm talking about putting the main mastering home links into a module. Can those be copied in?
You can move them anywhere you want. Yeah. Like, so do you want to move this entire folder into there, or just like the like mastering or MyLab, or it would be a mastering course home or MyLab course home, like that link?
I think it was just the course home.
Yeah, you can move that. Like, these are links just like any other link. They can be moved anywhere into any module or folder in the course. You can just grab this guy and drag it. Whoops. I'm not the biggest fan of Blackboard Ultra's dragging functionality. I know I'm not alone in that. Oh, come on. There it is. All right, we got it. We did it, everyone. You can move that in there like that.
Can you make copies of it, Jason?
No.
Okay.
You can't. It's kind of a roundabout way to make a copy of it, because I don't think Blackboard Ultra allows you to make copies of links, which is weird, but you can do it this way if you want to create a copy of a link. So you just have to go into Edit and then just copy this configuration URL. And then if you wanted to put that into a different folder or module, such as this one, you can just click Add, Create, and then Teaching Tools with LTI Connection. And then just paste in that link. Call it MyLab course.
One other question that came up, Jason, if you're copying from an ultra shell to an ultra shell, do you recommend doing export import in the course or course copy?
They both work the same in my experience. I mean, there's not really a, so I would say that if you're doing your course creation close to semester start, specifically fall semester start, course copies have a history of taking an eternity around that time because Blackboard, I guess, has a much heavier load because everyone's creating their courses. So typically doing an export and import will take a lot less time. I've seen like course copies taking 3 or 4 hours to complete during like heavy load, like in the lead up to back to school. An import export will normally take the time it takes for the package to export, so maybe like a couple minutes, and then importing it. So it definitely is a quicker process. Like right now, if you're doing a course copy, it's going to take 2 minutes to do. But I've noticed at right near the beginning of semesters, it takes a real long time. And I know, I don't think it was last year. I think it was maybe, might have been fall 2020 or something. Course copies got all messed up and it was taking like 8, 10, 12 hours to do them. And Blackboard they had to fix something on the Blackboard side or something. So, I mean, yeah, if you're doing it close to the semester, it might be quicker to do import and export, but they work the same in terms of functionality, really, at least from my perspective on any Pearson products. It'll function exactly the same.
Okay, so we're at the 5-minute mark. Does anybody have any last-minute questions for either Jason or Beth? We certainly don't want to keep people past time if your questions have been answered, so.
And like also just like you can reach out to me or Beth anytime with questions about this. We're pretty available for, you know.
Well, great. Thank you both. This has been really, really informative. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Let me see if I can figure out how to stop sharing.
And thank you all so much for letting us join today. If anyone will be attending Chimatic this weekend, I will be there. So any math instructors, hopefully I'll see you there.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And like I said, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can just reach out to my email. I don't know if I actually put my email in the chat. I will put my email in the chat.
And I'll stick mine in there as well.
So, yep. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.